I'll get some. How do we get it to be equal though? Very good. That's right. So if we were to take the pennies away, right? And we were to instead put on these 2 sugar packets. You mean salt? No, it's sugar packets. Right? That's gonna weigh it like that.
How much crack cocaine do you think a defendant needs to end up in prison for 5 years? How about 10 years? What does it mean to be equal? Crack the disparity. It's not fair. It's not working.
2 people appear before a judge on drug charges. One is charged with simple possession of 5 grams of crack cocaine, 5 grams. The other one is charged with 100 times more the amount, 100 times more, 500 grams of powder cocaine. Who do you think should get the longer sentence? The one with 5 grams of crack or the one with 500 grams of powder cocaine?
Well, I would think the larger, because there might be the intent to sell. However, I understand that there's a stigma about crack, and so a lot of times those people who have crack end up getting in more trouble. That's my understanding.
Did you know that both of those people will actually receive the same 5-year sentence, despite the fact that the one with 500 grams of powder cocaine has more quantity of drugs?
No, I didn't know that. But it have something to do with the fact about crack having a stigma?
Since the 1980s, people have been going to federal prison for low-level offenses and staying there for a long time. For many, their conviction was a first-time offense. For drug offenses involving crack cocaine, the penalties are the harshest ever created by Congress. 5 grams, the equivalent weight of 2 sugar packets, subjects defendants accused of possessing crack cocaine to a mandatory minimum sentence of 5 years. Regardless of the circumstances of a defendant's case, judges have no authority to sentence below these mandatory sentences. Crack the disparity. It's not fair. It's not working.
I think after 5 years, 7 years, I think that would have been time served. But it didn't take me 15 years to know that I didn't want to break the law no more.
Right. There was a lot of public pressure on Congress to do something, and what they did was create the harshest drug penalties that they've ever done, and that still today, crack is the most harshly punished drug of any drug under federal law. And so 5 grams, which literally is these 2 sugar packets, can get someone a minimum sentence. It's a mandatory minimum. People get much more of 5 years. If they have this much crack, they're going to get a minimum sentence of 10 years. But people spend much more time than that in prison.
50 grams. 50 grams is the weight of a candy bar. It's the weight of a candy bar. This is a totally insignificant quantity.
The weight of about 2 sugar cubes gets you the same 5-year mandatory minimum penalty as trafficking 500 grams of the powder form of cocaine, which is equivalent to about a 1-pound bag of sugar. For the life of me, I have not understood that.
What is the first racial group that comes to your mind when you hear the term crack cocaine? First racial group that comes to your mind?
African Americans.
Say it again.
African Americans.
Obviously, you know what I'm going to say. Come on, it's black, so.
African American community. Black folk.
Well, I'm not saying that I feel this way, but I think the media makes it out to be African Americans.
Well, I think the majority of the crack cocaine users, you would think that they were primarily African American, but I think it's across the board.